You've probably blamed yourself for that 3 p.m. candy bar or late-night ice cream binge. You tell yourself you just need more willpower, more self-control. But what if I told you that your sugar cravings have absolutely nothing to do with willpower? What if the real culprit is something completely different, something that's been hiding in plain sight? I'm going to show you the science behind why your body literally forces you to crave sugar. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the exact strategies that helped one of our KB Bluetree community members completely eliminate his sugar addiction in just 30 days. Welcome to KB Bluetree, where we dive deep into the science of human optimization. I'm your host, and if you're struggling with sugar cravings that seem impossible to control, this video is going to change everything for you. See, most people think sugar cravings are a character flaw. They think if they just had more discipline, they could resist that donut or skip the afternoon soda. But here's what the research actually shows. Your brain runs on glucose, and when your blood sugar drops, your brain sends out an emergency signal that feels exactly like a craving. Problem. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Your sugar cravings aren't random, and they're definitely not a sign of weak willpower. There are 3 biological triggers that are literally forcing your body to seek out sugar. And until you understand these triggers, you'll keep fighting a losing battle. The first trigger is blood sugar instability. When you eat processed foods or skip meals, your blood sugar spikes and then crashes hard. During that crash, your brain panics. It thinks you're starving, so it floods your system with hormones that create an overwhelming urge to eat something sweet and fast. This isn't a character flaw. This is your survival mechanism working exactly as it was designed thousands of years ago. The second trigger is chronic stress. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol, and cortisol has a direct relationship with sugar cravings. Studies show that people with higher cortisol levels consume significantly more sugar throughout the day. Your stressed brain is literally chemically programmed to seek out quick energy in the form of sugar. The third trigger, and this one might surprise you, is poor sleep quality. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your body produces more ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and less leptin, the satiety hormone. But here's the kicker. Sleep deprivation specifically increases cravings for high carbohydrate, sugary foods by up to 45%. So if you've been staying up late scrolling through your phone and then wondering why you can't stop thinking about cookies the next day, now you know why. There's actually a fourth trigger that most people don't realize is sabotaging their efforts, something called emotional eating patterns, and it's deeply connected to how your brain processes reward and comfort. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine in the reward center. This feels good temporarily, but here's what happens next. Your brain starts associating sugar with emotional relief. Had a stressful day at work? Your brain remembers that sugar made you feel better last time? Feeling lonely or anxious? Sugar becomes your go-to coping mechanism. This creates what scientists call a conditioned response. Your brain learns to crave sugar whenever you experience certain emotions. The scary part is, this happens completely unconsciously. You're not making a conscious decision to eat sugar for comfort. Your brain is just following a pattern it's learned over months or years. And here's why this matters so much for people watching KB Bluetree content. If you don't address the emotional component of sugar cravings, you'll keep cycling through the same patterns no matter how well you manage your blood sugar or sleep. Most people try to solve sugar cravings with willpower. They go cold turkey. They try to just say no. They beat themselves up when they inevitably give in. But you can't willpower your way out of a biological response. It's like trying to hold your breath forever, or willing yourself not to blink. And you definitely can't willpower your way out of deeply ingrained emotional patterns that your brain has been reinforcing for years. The solution isn't more discipline. The solution is working with your biology instead of against it. And that includes understanding and rewiring these emotional triggers. Solutions. Now that you understand what's really driving your sugar cravings, let me give you the exact system that actually works. Solution number 1 is stabilizing your blood sugar throughout the day. This means eating protein with every meal and never going more than 4 hours without eating something. When I say protein, I'm talking about at least 20 to 30 grams. A handful of nuts doesn't count. Think eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, or a high-quality protein shake. This keeps your blood sugar steady and prevents those emergency craving signals. Here's a pro tip from the KB Bluetree community. Pair your protein with healthy fats and fiber-rich vegetables. This combination slows down digestion even more and creates what nutritionists call sustained energy release. A perfect example would be scrambled eggs with avocado and spinach for breakfast, or Greek yogurt with nuts and berries as a snack. Solution number 2 is managing your stress response. You don't need to eliminate stress from your life, but you do need to give your body ways to process it. The most effective method I've found is just 5 minutes of deep breathing when you feel a craving hit. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and can reduce cortisol levels within minutes. Sounds simple, but the research on this is absolutely solid. For 1 week, every time you have a sugar craving, write down what happened in the hour before that craving hit. Were you in a difficult meeting? Did you get stuck in traffic? Do you have an argument with someone? You'll start to see patterns. Maybe you always crave sugar after checking your email in the morning. Or maybe it happens every time you're running late for something. Once you identify these patterns, you can be proactive instead of reactive. If you know that Monday morning meetings always trigger stress eating, you can do your breathing exercise before the meeting even starts. Solution number 3 is optimizing your sleep environment. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and completely quiet. More importantly, no screens for at least 1 hour before bed. The blue light from your phone disrupts melatonin production, which affects those hunger hormones we talked about. If you're serious about beating sugar cravings, treating your sleep like medicine is non-negotiable. But let's get specific about what good sleep hygiene actually looks like. Your bedroom temperature should be between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Your room should be so dark that you can't see your hand in front of your face. And here's something most people don't know. What you do in the first hour after waking up is just as important as what you do before bed. Getting sunlight in your eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which directly affects your sleep quality that night. Even just 5 minutes outside can make a difference. Solution number 4 is rewiring those emotional eating patterns we talked about. This is where most people get stuck, so pay close attention. The key is creating new neural pathways that give you the same emotional payoff without the sugar crash. When you feel stressed, anxious, or bored, instead of reaching for something sweet, you need alternative behaviors that still activate your brain's reward system. Your brain needs about 3 weeks to start forming new habits, so don't expect this to work after just a few tries. But stick with it, and you'll literally rewire how your brain responds to emotional triggers. When a craving hits, don't try to ignore it or power through it. Instead, ask yourself 3 questions. Am I actually hungry? Or did I just see or smell something sweet? Have I eaten protein in the last 4 hours? How did I sleep last night? Most of the time, you'll realize the craving is coming from one of those 3 biological triggers, not actual hunger. Then you can address the root cause instead of just fighting the symptom. Have a protein snack, do your breathing exercise, or commit to better sleep tonight. This approach works because you're working with your biology, not against it. Like and subscribe to KB Blue Tree for more science-based strategies that actually work. Success story. Let me tell you about Matt D., one of our KB Blue Tree community members who used this exact system to completely transform his relationship with sugar. Matt came to us after years of what he called sugar addiction. He was having multiple sodas every day, couldn't get through an afternoon without candy, and was gaining weight despite trying every diet out there. He'd tried going cold turkey dozens of times. He'd thrown away all the sweets in his house, only to find himself at the gas station an hour later buying more. Sound familiar?
I thought he was broken.
That he just didn't have the willpower other people had. But here's what really got Matt's attention during his first consultation with our team. We asked him to track not just what he ate, but when he ate it and what he was feeling at the time. Within just 3 days, Matt discovered something shocking. Every single one of his afternoon sugar binges happened within 30 minutes of a stressful work call or email. He wasn't craving sugar because he was hungry. He was craving sugar because his brain had learned that sugar was how he dealt with workplace frustration. This was Matt's breakthrough moment. For the first time, he realized this wasn't about willpower at all. After learning about the 4 biological triggers, everything changed. He started eating protein at breakfast, began doing the breathing technique when cravings hit, and completely transformed his sleep routine. But the game changer for Matt was implementing that stress audit we talked about. He identified that his biggest trigger was the daily 2 p.m. team meeting with his micromanaging boss. Matt started doing 5 minutes of deep breathing before every team meeting. He'd sit in his car in the parking lot and do the 4-4-6 breathing pattern we teach here at KB Blue Tree. Within 2 weeks, Matt's afternoon sugar cravings were cut in half. Within 30 days, he went from drinking 4 sodas a day to maybe having 1 on the weekends. The best part? He didn't feel deprived or like he was fighting himself constantly. He said it felt like someone had just turned off a switch in his brain. Matt lost 18 pounds in those first 30 days, but more importantly, he felt like he had control over his choices again, instead of being controlled by his cravings. 6 months later, Matt told us that the strategies he learned didn't just help him with sugar. He was sleeping better, handling work stress more effectively, and had more consistent energy throughout the day. Call to action. Look, if you've made it this far in the video, you're serious about solving this problem. The truth is, everything I've shared with you today works, but only if you actually implement it. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one of the 3 solutions I shared and commit to doing it for the next 7 days. Maybe it's adding protein to your breakfast. Maybe it's trying the breathing technique, or maybe it's putting your phone away an hour before bed. Just pick one and prove to yourself that this works, and come back and tell us about it in the comments. And if you want more science-based strategies for optimizing your health and breaking free from the habits that are holding you back, make sure you subscribe to KB Blue Tree and hit that notification bell. Your future self will thank you for taking action today instead of waiting for Monday, or next month, or when you have more willpower. The time is now.